Oh, Pearson gets into the 95 of Folks. Here comes the caution.
Flag is dropped here at Daytona, and away we go for the first time. Nicholas Morcel, Sean.
Looks like most get through unscathed. Look at that, there's Reed Gibson. A big move at the inside line of Dom's, possibly a little bit of contact.
Now, as we've got three wide action going through turns 1 and 2.
And they're underway. Eric Hahn takes a nice jump. Wilson hasn't let him go very far.
Go out here for Circuit Spa Francorchamps. Alex Johnson's off to a brilliant start there.
Just how oddly shaped this one is. We saw in the background Eric Hahn go for a bit of a swing, and he's gone and he's over.
New stuff. Cody Graham is the one-on-one up into second place. Alex Johnson 6/10 lead at the moment.
They're dicey up front. There's Andrew Kessel, Justin Sang.
They are ready to go. The lights are out, and away we go for the very first time here at Okayama International Circuit. Finley Fitzsimmons.
Good evening, race fans, and welcome back to the YesterYear Racing Cup Series here at the Old Bastards Racing League. We are in the middle of the Chase playoffs, and we're getting ready to watch 31 Titans make their way out at Kansas Speedway. I'm your host, James Eastwood, Team Goon Squad Broadcasting, bringing the action 1080p and 60 frames a second as drivers are getting lined up for this feature event. Let's go ahead and run through the starting order here tonight. On pole, it's Josh Robinson, the number 23 machine. DJ Rogers starting second. Tom Ogle starting third. Lloyd Moore starting fourth. Wayne Hufford starting fifth. Jack Yeagerman starting sixth. Chris Bates starting seventh. Kevin Strandberg starting eighth. Jerry Isaacs starts ninth. Patrick Martindale starting 10th. William Martin starting 11th. Roger Hurley starting 12th as we cycle it back to Mr. Sean Foltz starting 13th. Michael Titanium Everhart starting 14th. Jeff Lydon starting 15th. Robert Garisco starting 16th. Dakota Grandpa Pischke starting 17th. Brian Lindsay starting 18th. Dustin Martinson starts 19th. Larry Corey starting 20th. Brian Lynch starting 21st. Greg McDaniel starting 22nd. Chris Walsh starts 23rd. Guy Petra starts 24th. And we cycle it back one final time. Andy Thomas starting 25th. Eric McCluskey starting 26th. John Hastings starting 27th. Josh Thompson starting 28th. Gavin Adams starts 29th. Lee Warsdell starting 30th. And Lonnie Corey will round out the 31-car grid here today. We got Pac-Man CT joining us in the spectator area. As always, let us know where you're from. It's going to be 140 laps on the board here tonight. No fast repairs available for these drivers. Robert Garisco going to be starting from pit road. It looks like the number 28 Ford. And here we go, green flag racing. It's going to be Robinson guarding that inside line. He's got his teammate Tom Ogle tucked in behind. That's TJ Rogers up on the high side. And already looks like the two teammates going side by side here. Ogle going to take over the race lead, the number 11 machine. Robson's going to settle up next to him. Here comes Wayne Huffer, the number 75. He's ripping the high side behind the 23. Now let's go a little bit further back. I've already seen some drivers making big moves. There's Brian Lindsay, the number 24. He's up 5 positions right behind. There's Greg McDaniel, the yellow painted Chevrolet, sporting the number 1. He's up 7 spots so far early on. And I also see Josh Thompson, the rookie in the 101, has gained 8 positions early on. Now a reminder to the fans, the triple-digit drivers are not eligible to qualify, as I think that was Patrick Martindale coming back out on track, the number 93 machine. But good to see the rookie Thompson, the 101, running well, already up 9 positions. Ogle up front just set the fastest lap of the race, but it was already answered by Brian Lindsay sitting 13th. Lindsay clicked off a 31.53. Now let me pull up my notes here. Fuel window is going to open up around lap 55, close around lap 70 is our prediction here this evening. As Ogle continues to lead there, the number 11, Robinson in second. Wayne Huffer third with TJ Rogers and Jack Yeagerman round out the top 5. There's the number 26 of Lloyd Moore. He's got Yeagerman up ahead. The M&M's back, number 27 Ford Mustang. And Jerry Isaacs, the 51, right into a very sharp painted car. It's like a nice mix of chrome there on the number 51, really allowing it to pop on the flat black colors as he makes his way around the Kansas circuit. Roger Hurley now, the number 77, gets the fastest lap of the race. So as the tires start to come in, drivers getting faster and faster here. Now it's going to be interesting to see when the tires start to fall off for these drivers. The lap times will plateau out a little bit and then start to decrease until the end of the run, the beginning of the green flag stops. Side by side, we're watching William Martin, the number 94, Sean Foltz, the 59, down low. Looked like Martin got just a little bit loose there. And that is going to allow Foltz to grab his 5th position so far. Hard Charger out on track still. Thompson, the 101, up 9 spots from where he started here tonight. So still seeing some good dicing back and forth here at Kansas. Yeagerman and Moore going side by side here in the battle for a top 5. There's Moore down low. Yeagerman up against the wall with Jerry Isaacs slotting in behind. You see the number 59 of Sean Foltz. He's on a good run, sitting in 8th so far. Up front, it's still Ogle, Robinson, Hufford. Rogers holding on to 4th, but it seems like all the battling. Yeah, look at that. Yeagerman and Moore side by side. Isaacs and Foltz also side by side, right in tow here. And this is allowing the top 4 to get a little bit of a breakaway. They're almost a half second up over the rest of the field, which runs 5th place back. And for the most part, just about everybody in single file line here. And it's going to be interesting to see if this remains a single file showdown until we get to the green flag pit stops, or if some of the racers are going to end up getting a little bit antsy and start pushing forward here. Now coming into this round of the Chase playoffs, it's still Robinson on top. Tom Ogle, Dan Hill tied in second place. Greg McDaniel technically showing fourth. He's tied with Jerry Isaacs. So it's been a very good race to wrap up the season here. The YesterYear Racing OBRL Cup Series. YesterYear Racing, of course, our title sponsor of the premier OBRL Sunday Night Series, supported as well by Top Flight Computers, Butt Kicker, and of course our friends over at Victory Lane Sports. Oh, there's a big send from Jaegerman up the inside line against Rogers. Now, knock on wood, despite the close side-by-side racing, haven't really seen any incidents out on track here, but man, Jaegerman and Rogers getting close, breathing on each other, and that is allowing the top five to get condensed back together. Jaegerman with a big run there on the tail of Wayne Hufford's 75 machine. The top three still running nose to tail in no big hurry to wear out the tires prematurely. Now let's go a little bit further back in the field. Checking in on some of our hard chargers. Greg McDaniel running 13th. He's up 9 spots. You've also got Gavin Adams, Lee Warsdale. They're running together 20th and 21st. They're both up 9 positions so far this evening. Now, it can be relatively easy for drivers to make big lunges early on, but the OBRL, known for its long green flag runs, can definitely show who is the best when it comes to tire management. Walsh running a very uncharacteristic, solid baby blue number 63 tonight. Before tonight's show, I actually asked the drivers, was that right, or did I have something messed up here in the broadcast booth? But they confirmed, no, it is solid baby blue. So Walsh not running any sponsors on this one. Back a little bit up towards the front. You're watching side-by-side action. Jerry Isaacs, TJ Rogers, Jack Jaegerman's 27, sitting right ahead. He's making that M&M's back forward about 3 lanes wide here at Kansas, and that is stacking things up a little bit from 4th place back. Your top 3, Ogle, Robinson, and Hufford, now have a 1-second advantage over the rest of the field here. So they're enjoying seeing everybody else trying to slice it and dice it in the rearview mirror, allowing those 3 up front to get a little bit of a breakaway. Ogle still out front. He's getting a little bit of pressure from Robinson, who's working the inside line. Hufford right in tow there, the number 75. But yeah, now it's a 1.2 second advantage. We pan back over to Jaegerman. So maybe Jaegerman and Rogers going to try and work together here a little bit. But because right behind them, Moore and Isaacs still side by side. Also, I can see Chris Bates, William Martin, Roger Hurley. I spot Greg McDaniel, who's now made it 10 positions. Gained both McDaniel and Gavin Adams, who sits in 19th. Our Hard Chargers are been able to grab 10 spots very early on in today's feature event. Martin tucked in behind there, looking for an opening. I think that was Hurley up on the high side, who might be getting ready to lose a spot here to Greg McDaniel. A little bit further up front, TJ Rogers, Lloyd Moore side by side here for 5th. Your top 3 have now made it a 2-second breakaway over the rest of the field. And up front, looks like Robinson has taken back over the race lead, but no, Ogle's going to fire back as the two teammates going side by side here. Looks like Robinson's going to secure that number 23 up into the top spot, getting credit for the lap led here. So Ogle's going to be playing second fiddle in the number 11, but look at that massive gap they built up. Even going back and forth with the race lead, still holding on to a 2-second advantage. There's Moore sitting in 4th. Jaegerman up on the high side. TJ Rogers following suit. As you can also see Jerry Isaac, Sean Foltz, and Chris Bates in frame. Greg McDaniel looking to lock up that 11th position gained and the number 11, but he's got Hurley firing back up on the high side. Again, McDaniel down low, the bright yellow number 1, Hurley on the high side, the left side of your screen, the red and black 77. And now it looks like Brian Lindsay, the number 24, also going to join Hurley up on the high side. Lindsay might have tagged the wall just a little bit there. He's going to lose a couple of tenths. Still have all 31 drivers out on track here tonight. And I'm surprised to see the amount of racing we have. Who was that just tagged the wall? That was the 27 of Jaegerman. A little bit of brush against the right-hand side. He had Rogers working the inside line along him. Jerry Isaacs looking to get through here. We are 29 laps in, and it looks like the tires starting to fall off a little bit. Most drivers are at least 1 second off their fastest lap of the race, and definitely looks like we're starting to see some of the drivers taking the air off each other, causing the car to get a little bit loose here. And this is the vortex of danger we're watching right now. This is 5th through about 12th place. all bunched up together. Drivers hitting speeds in excess of 185 miles an hour here at Kansas. So one little mistake when you're in this side of a pack, it can get pretty exciting pretty quickly. Yeagerman and Isaac side by side. Bates and Foltz looking for a way through here. Starting to get a little bit busy. Rogers, number 72, breaking away from this pack as he sits in the 5th place position. If he thinks things are going to get a little bit dicey back there, he might try and break away. Maybe worth using up a little bit more tire just to make sure his car is going to be here at the end of this thing. As I say that, though, Rogers must have had a moment. Isaacs very quickly reeled back in that number 72. Now, I wonder what Lloyd Moore is thinking right now, the number 26. He's sitting in 4th. He's 2 seconds up over this battle for 5th. He's about 2.3 back from the top 3 drivers, all sitting in podium positions. Chris Bates right here in the meat grinder, the number 81. He's got Yeagerman and McDaniel, Foltz, Hurley, Pischke, Lindsay, Leiden, Martin, Walsh, all here in this pack. Running about 7th through 16th, I believe it's going to be. Rogers and Isaacs keep taking little looks at each other. Big shout out to our friend Antonio Bianchi, tuned in from Canada to watch the show here tonight. Supporting the OBRL drivers. Now we are running a very limited broadcast schedule for the remainder of the season here. Unfortunately, I don't have that schedule in front of me right now. I know we have this weekend, next Sunday, and then 2 more rounds. I know one of those rounds is going to be the season finale. But without my notes, couldn't quite tell you what the other one's going to be. There we go, Chris Bates, Jack Yeagerman, McDaniel looking for an opening there. Ooh, side by side, it's getting a little bit dicey. Bates and Yeagerman still side by side. Rogers and Isaacs just ahead of them. Ooh, a big save there from Rogers, getting a little bit loose out of 2. That's going to allow Isaacs to slide up the inside line there, but a good save from Rogers at number 72. So let's see how this one's going to pan out. So I wonder after this little bit of exciting moments, maybe the driver's going to calm down just a little bit here. Now Robinson still out front, Ogle second, Wayne Hufford sitting in third. Those top three have almost a 4-second advantage over the rest of the field here. Lloyd Moore still sitting in fourth. He's in no man's land, about 2.5 seconds up from fifth place back, about 3.7 back from Hufford sitting in third. And it seems to be where all the excitement has been. This fifth place back party. There's Chris Bates, number 81. Making his way around to Isaacs. Tom Ogle. Interesting. Going to come down pit road. A bit of an undercut there for the number 11. Looks like nobody's going to join him. That's a very unique call there from Ogle. Was it a planned pit stop? Yes, it was. I thought, maybe there was a chance that he got bumped and had to come up with an alternative plan there, but that's going to leave Robinson out front. Wayne Hufford in second. 6/10 off the back of the number 23. Lloyd Moore will move up into third. So now that the pit cycle is kind of underway here, let's see. So far, still nobody except for Ogle has come down pit road. There we go. TJ Rogers, number 72. He's going to come down pit road. Rogers in and out here. Greg McDaniel, number 1, he's also going to come down pit road, so a bit of an undercut for several of these drivers. Now I'm curious, Robinson staying out there, the number 23, so that means drivers are coming down pit road more so for fresh tires than they are at fuel at this point. And pit road's starting to get busier. We've got Chris Bates, Grandpa Pischke, Brian Lindsay, Kevin Strandberg, Eric McCluskey, Gavin Adams all coming down here. as Brian Lynch and Lee Warsdale going to return back out onto the track. Wayne Hufford, who is sitting in second, he's going to come down pit road. Looks like Robinson stays out a little while longer. Lloyd Moore in second now. He stays out, as well as Jerry Isaacs, who bumps his way up into third. There's Robinson, your race leader, coming down pit road. Lloyd Moore is going to stay out. He will get credit for a lap led there, the number 26. Isaacs, Walsh, Foltz, Martin, Barisco also coming down pit road. Larry Corey, the number 17. But right now, looks like 8 drivers, getting ready to be 7 who have yet to pit. Lloyd Moore's down pit road. Let's see if Jeff Lydon follows suit, the number 39. To give you an idea of the lap times, Lydon last time by a 33.18 is what it's showing. No, a 33.39 compared to his fastest lap of the race, a 31.57. And Hurley, who's still on his original set of tires, will take over the race lead here. So I'm only showing 5 drivers who have yet to pit, as John Hastings is going to come down pit road. Lydon signaling for a pit stop to Piggly Wiggly, back number 39. Hurley stays out. So I'm only seeing 4 drivers who have yet to pit. Roger Hurley, Michael Everhart, Guy Petra, and Patrick Martindale. And Hurley is going to come down pit road. Looks like for every pit stop I've seen, Chris Walsh and Eric McCluskey might have had problems on pit road. And I just saw something else. I think it was Brian Lindsay showing an off track here. Let's see what happened to Lindsay. Ooh, got into the back, I think at the 71, I think that was. But a big save there for Lindsay, able to hold on to it. 71, I believe, would be Everhart. No, it's not Everhart. That was maybe Guy Petra involved in something, the number 70. Does it say 70 on the car? Enhance. It does, I just can't read. It looks like with the way the front graphic is, that 70, it looked like a 71 from up here in the booth. There's Everhart. He's going to come down pit road. Should be the final driver to take 4 fresh tires and a full tank of gas. That's going to put Ogle back as your race leader. Ogle came down pit road a good 5 to 7 laps earlier than anybody else out on track. His teammate Robinson stayed out 6 more laps. He's now sitting second, but he is 3.7 seconds off the back of Ogle, your race leader. But tip of the hat to these drivers, the first green flag pit cycle completely finished. And besides those little off-road tracks you saw at the infield, no other incidents to be reported for that pit cycle. Sean Foltz sitting in the 10th place position. Clicks off a 31.33. That's going to be the fastest lap of the race so far tonight. Hurley trying to catch up to the back of Lindsay. Hurley does have 5-lap pressure tires underneath them. So Hurley might have put himself in a good spot here. So I would imagine the next time we're going to see drivers in mass coming down pit road is going to be right around that lap 100 mark, give or take. Yeah, plus or minus 5 laps, I'd imagine. I also see Greg McDaniel making moves there, the number 1. He's got Lloyd Moore approaching the inside line, but right now McDaniel showing up 18 positions from where he started here tonight. Moore making a good attempt here, battling against McDaniel for 4th. The top 3 drivers about 5 seconds up over the rest of the field. I'm sure your top 3 of Ogle, Robinson, and Hufford want to keep that train going. The rest of the field may be hoping for a caution to bunch everything back up. Moore muscling his way up the inside line. There's a little bit of lap traffic right ahead of him there. This is where things can get a little bit exciting. And it's going to be Robert Garisco going down a lap in his number 28 machine. And Moore seems like he wants to keep that momentum going forward here. Keeps taking a peek to the inside line of Garisco. Well, are we going to go 3 wide here, I wonder? Moore slides up in front of McDaniel. That's one of the tough parts when you have everybody on different pit strategies. You can get very equally matched drivers as far as pace running with each other. And I think McDaniel very wisely backing out of a 3-wide situation there. I think McDaniel had the speed to try and make something happen here. Saw what was about to happen, said, you know what, let's kind of back out of it for now, save some tires, and pick a safe time to get through here. Now, while this has been going on, Robinson's been slowly chipping away at the lead Ogle has. He's now got it within 3/4 of a second, Robinson does, of his teammate Ogle running up front. Now, I'm curious to see if those two start working together once they get linked back up, or if this is going to be one of those every man for himself kind of events. See another battle shaping up. This time it's Dakota Pischke, the monster back number 4 in the low line, and Sean Foltz, the media man himself, up on the high side, the number 59. But the field very kind of spread out at this point. There's about 10 different little battles going on But it's 2 cars here, 3 cars there. As Ogle is cutting his way through lap traffic, you can see his teammate Robinson behind. That is the 71 of Everhart. I believe a new paint scheme as well for Everhart. Looking sharp in the Chevrolet. Ogle being very safe, picking his way through traffic. Here we go, Robinson looking at the inside line of Ogle. As we get ready to see a battle for the lead between 2 teammates. Ogle up front, the number 11, holding on to it. Maybe trying to get his teammate Robinson to burn up a little bit more tire there. Robinson coming out of 2. I thought he was getting snapped loose, but he's going to turn that into advantage, diving up alongside the number 11 into turns 3 and 4 here. We are just past the halfway mark of today's main event. The drivers have been displayed the cross green and white flags, showing them they are in the back half of today's main event, this round of the Chase playoffs. Now Robinson and Ogle know that the side-by-side foray all well and good as long as they're not coming up on lap traffic. Now the driver right behind them, that's going to be Jeff Leiden's 39. He's down at least 1 lap here. I believe it's actually 3 laps. So Leiden's not going to pressure these 2 running side-by-side up front, knowing that that is a race he is not currently involved in. Robinson seems to be content on the inside line. Ogle continues to charge up by the wall here at Kansas. Now I wonder if Leiden trying to stay in a lucky dog position here. If he can just stay right behind the race leaders and a caution does come out, he will get the wave around. Now Ogle is on 6 lap older tires than Robinson there, the number 23. But still, side by side we go here. Ogle getting credit for the lap led, starting our 76th lap here. Robinson still staying glued to the inside line. Now they're about 1.7 seconds up from Wayne Hufford, the number 75. He's still running third. A good, strong podium finish, but I need to look. I don't know if Hufford, yes, he is in this round of the Chase playoffs. So Hufford needs a good result here. But surely the two right up front know that they're going to be slowing down the pace a little bit, running side by side, but that could be just a different in-line selection between the two. I'd be curious to talk to their crew chief and see if there's a strategy with this, or if it's just two dudes being guys out front having a great time and a little bit of racing. I thought I saw just somebody blink there on the inside. I think that's going to be Chris Walsh. No, it's not Walsh. Not quite sure. The 83, I think. It sounded like Robinson just drug the wall a little bit there. So that's the 93 of Patrick Martindale. I think my vision's going in my old age here. So Martindale trying to get a lap back at Kansas. The old-fashioned way with just raw speed. And after that brush with the outside wall, I would not be surprised to see Robinson backing it down just a little bit. Ogle, a little bit of a breakaway there, 4/10 up. Now, if we go a little bit further back, still good battling going on. Sean Foltz, Roger Hurley, 10th and 11th, separated by about a 10th here, it looks like. Hard Charger out on track, still going to be Greg McDaniel, the number 1. He's up 16 spots. Running 6. Now it looks like TJ Rogers is going to come back down pit road, our first driver in for a second stop of the night here. A little surprised. I didn't think we were going to see that second pit cycle till around the lap 100 mark. Rogers in and out of his pit stall, 14.7 seconds, indicating 4 tires, full fuel. And just about a perfect pit stop here. Ogle still running out front with Robinson right behind. Oh, and we've got the yellow flag is out here at Kansas, the first caution of the night. Let's take a look and see what happened. I saw Andy Thomas might have been involved with that one. He takes a tow back down pit road. Also showed Robert Garisco. Was that Garisco into the wall? I think it was. So a hard hit for Garisco, the number 28. It looked like that was the 32 also involved in that one. Garisco doing a good job locking up the brakes there. But let's back that camera angle up just a little bit and see if we can see what happened there with Hastings. Back that up a little bit more. I can't tell if Garisco got loose, if Hastings went up. Looks like Garisco came down in that one, but that's going to be a tough one for the race officials to take a look at. And Andy Thomas just nowhere to go on that one as Garisco snapped up against the safety barrier here at Kansas. And that is going to be 2 drivers done and out of this one as the entirety of the field is going to come down pit road here. Looks like Robinson a little bit faster on pit road there. But we ran about 80 some odd laps nice and clean, so well done to those guys. Few drivers extended stays on pit road. It looks like are not quite sure what they're doing, or maybe came in late. You know what? It's probably Lonnie, Corey, and Chris Walsh getting a wave around and getting back in the lead lap here, or getting a lap back. We're going to get them gridded back up, shuffle them back together. Looks like the iRacing safety car getting ready to come down pit road. So our first restart of the night. That's the two teammates, Robinson, Ogle on the front row. Green flag is out, and away we go. Wayne Huffer's been running third just about all night long. The number 75 wants to get back up there in the mix, but now that we've got the field re-racked, there's going to be a lot of drivers that can suddenly see the race leaders. Here's Hufford under fire from Lloyd Moore as well as Jerry Isaacs. Now there's also the age-old adage, cautions breed cautions. You've got everybody back mixed together, everybody on fresh tires underneath them. Robinson holding on to the race lead. Ogle second. Hufford still in third. Isaacs has a big run. Looks like Ogle had a little bit of a slowdown there coming out. I think that was either through 3 or 4. Lost about 2 or 3 tenths to Robinson up front. Hufford right on the back of the number 11 machine. Also run the high side, as well as Jerry Isaacs. Lloyd Moore down low, the number 26. that side by side. That's going to be Moore and Isaacs battling here for the 4th place position. McDaniel getting a little bit dicey there, number 1 machine. Still our hard charger up 17 spots, now running to top 5. McDaniel showing 4th in this round of Chase playoffs. But the field definitely staying pretty tight here after that lap 83 caution to re-rack everybody. Oh, but that's going to get interrupted, I think. Gavin Adams involved in some sort of incident in the number 30. He's going to pull over and take a tow there as there's body work hanging off. So that's going to avoid the caution coming out here, I think. As yes, Adams takes a tow. Ooh, and that was entirely going to be on Adams, I think. Drifted up into the track. Quite see the other driver involved. But a hard hit for the number 30, resulting in a tow going back down pit road. So unfortunately, his night may be over for Adams. Robinson and Ogle trading a little bit of paint off the bodywork, running 1st and 2nd side by side. This time it's Robinson up high, Ogle running down low. Still Hufford in 3rd with Isaacs and McDaniel running out the top 5. Doesn't look like these two are slowing down the pace too much. As I saw Chris Bates making a pass against Foltz there. Foltz going to run it right back in the number 59. And just ahead of them is that freight train of drivers, your top 5, top 6. Now, in theory, I believe drivers can make it till the end here on fuel, but that's going to take quite a bit of tire management to extend that run out quite that much. Now, as a reminder to the fans, it was less than 50 laps in. We saw our first cycle of green flag pit stops. We believe drivers can go up to around 65 or so laps on a tank, but the tire fall off was pretty pronounced here in Kansas. I'm going to be curious to see what the lap times will be from these drivers. If we can make it to lap 120, 130 without another caution being thrown. As Robinson comes out of the turn 2 onto the backstretch. Next time by, we're going to make it just 40 laps left to go here, this main event. We still have 29 of our 31 entries out on track here. So not too bad of an attrition rate tonight. I'm starting to hear more drivers tagging that outside wall as well. Robinson up front, a quarter of a second advantage over Ogle. Hufford still sitting in third. Has ran the majority of tonight, that number 75 in the third place position. Open for some sort of mistake out of the top two, and also keeping an eye out. A bit of a wild card. There's Lloyd Moore, who keeps taking a peek to the inside line. You can see the rubber marks all the way around the safety barrier coming out of turns two. And a fair amount through 3 and 4 as well, so you can definitely see where drivers are trying to extend the track limit there a little bit. As Lloyd Moore seeing Ogle offline a little bit there. Hufford's going to try and take a big run there on the number 75, but Moore takes a peek to the inside line through 3 and 4. Can Moore work his way up into the third place spot here? And you're watching Hufford and Moore side by side, battling for third. We're down low, Hufford staying up against the wall. This is giving Robinson Ogle a little bit of a breakaway up front. Moore has to back out of it, tucking in behind Hufford and getting that momentum built back up here. Hufford doing everything he can to hold on to third. He's been fighting for this position all night long. And you've also got Jerry Isaacs watching this, as well as Jerry McDaniel. Excuse me, Jerry Isaacs and Greg McDaniel. And look at that, Wayne Hufford up into second now. as Ogle falls off the pace ever so slightly. So it looks like we've got a race on our hands, ladies and gentlemen. So Hufford falls back to third. Moore still looking to the inside line as Ogle's back up into second. Now it's interesting, Guy Petra came down pit road. Patrick Martindale also down pit road. So as it stands, it's Robinson, Ogle, Hufford, 1, 2, 3. Moore and Isaacs running out the top 5, but you still have McDaniel, Foltz, and Pischke right here in the mix of things. This is where kind of all the action is. Ogle holding on to second as Hufford and Moore still battling side by side for third here. This is where the tire management's going to start to come into play as Moore and Hufford almost make contact there. Ogle looking for a little bit of a break here. Seeing if he can keep that battle right behind him. The more Hufford, Moore, and Isaacs wearing out the tires, the better it could be for the number 11. Now Robinson up front starting to check out. He's about 1.4 seconds up over the rest of the field. I also want to cycle back a little bit to Sean Foltz, number 59 machine. As I see Peach with the number 70 back down pit road, I wonder if he got some sort of penalty on the last stop he did. This would be his 4th stop, I believe, of the night, so very uncharacteristic for Petra. But there's Foltz in the number 59. I think he's putting himself in a good spot here. 23 laps to go. And just kind of hanging out, watching the battle unfold ahead of him. Now, it's going to be a bit of a game of cat and mouse. If Foltz is trying to keep the tires underneath him, eventually he's going to have to pull the trigger and start to battle through this pack. Second, about 7th place in front of him. As it looked like Isaacs came in a little bit hot there. Drilling the wall out of turn 2. That's going to allow McDaniel to very easily get by on the inside line. And I think this is where we're going to see if Foltz has anything left. I'd imagine he's going to start to wick it up here and get back on the throttle. Hufford and Moore still having their side-by-side battle here for 3rd. We're now showing 3rd by just the nose, but Hufford passes him back on the high side. So this could be the battle for the final podium spot. 19 laps left to go as Robinson crosses the line. Moore and Hufford have been staying linked up nose to tail. I can't tell. I don't think that might have been McDaniel I just saw tagging the wall up in the high side too. Right now, it looks like Hufford has been able to shake off Moore just a little bit. Now Pischke, number 4, is going to charge up the inside line. Just heard somebody else dragging the wall, and it was going to be Hufford with a mistake. Hufford, the number 75, has been fighting tooth and nail to hold on to 3rd. I think we just heard him drag the wall. Here comes Grandpa Pischke, the number 4. He's working the inside line, and he's got Moore. He's got McDaniel following right behind here. McDaniel tags the outside wall. So as the laps start to dwindle, the top 3 all but decided. Now Robinson's 1.5 seconds up over Oval. Oval a full second up over this fierce battle for 3rd. Hufford working the inside line. Pischke on the inside line. Hufford up top, might have tagged the wall just ever so slightly. Moore and McDaniel looking for any moment of weakness here that they can find themselves sneaking onto a podium. Hufford still staying up top. Pischke down low. Oh, Hufford drilling the wall once more. Is going to give Pischke a little bit of a breakaway here. And that's going to put Hufford right back in the clasp of Lloyd Moore and Greg McDaniel. They've had a bit of a breakaway from Isaacs, who sits in 7th. But 13 laps, no, make it 12 laps left to go. There's going to be no more pit stops unless there's a caution. So nobody at this point is going to be willing to gamble to come down pit road. Pischke actually starting to reel in Ogle a little bit. Has gotten within 3/4 of a second of that number 11. We've got BK Motorsports joining us in the spectator area here tonight. Pischke might have a run here. He's put about 4/10 of a second advantage over Hufford, within just about 6/10 of Tom Ogle in second. Pischke might have saved everything until the right moment here as we make it 10 laps left to go this round of the Chase Playoffs, the YesterYear Racing Cup Series. This is going to be good. Pischke seems to be reeling in Ogle here. So let's see in the final hour, can Grandpa Pischke try and work his way up into second? He is up 14 positions so far here tonight. There's Ogle up in the high side, the number 11. Ogle might have drugged the outside wall just a little bit. Five laps left to go here in Kansas. We're watching Dakota Pischke, who has had quite the run up towards the front here tonight. He's within 0.2 of a second of Ogle, about 1.4 seconds back from race leader Robinson. Now, last time by, Pischke ran about a full tenth faster than Ogle, about the same lap time as Robinson did. So let's see, was Ogle saving his tires and baiting the number 4 up towards the front? Or did Pischke do a little bit better job of keeping the tires underneath them? Pischke looks to the inside line across the start-finish line. 4 laps left to go. Ogle up by 1/100th of a second. Here goes Pischke. Slides up into second. Can he make it stick out of turn 2? Doesn't drift up in front of Ogle, leaving that number 11 plenty of real estate. But is Pischke going to use up a little bit too much tire here? And the final lap towards the closing. Pischke's going to try and get clear. Still not able to quite get it against Ogle. Ogle ahead by 0.06 of a second crossing the line. So Ogle a little bit faster. But actually, Ogle and Pischke running identical lap times that time by. 3 laps left to go. Pischke doing everything he can to get clear of Ogle. A little bit of lap traffic behind them, but they know that's the battle for second right ahead, so are not going to interrupt that one. Ogle's line seems to be carrying a little bit more speed, a little bit more swooping. Pischke able to drive it in deep on the corners, but doesn't get the run out that he's looking for. 2 laps left to go. Pischke's going to try and get this last shot at a second. Time just perfectly, I think. Needs to set fine razor's edge, building up enough momentum to take a shot at it. Or is Pischke maybe going to play it safe here and would rather settle for a third with a clean race car? White flag is out here at Kansas, the YesterYear Racing Cup Series at the OBRL, the Chase Playoffs. Robinson slowed down a little bit up front, but he knows he should have it, barring some sort of wild misfortune. Robinson slowing down a lot here. Ogle very briefly had it within a half second, but we unfurl the checkered flag. Put your hands together for Josh Robinson, number 23, with Tom Ogle finishing second and Dakota Pischke rounding out the top 3. So we're going to get these 3 lined up for their victory photos. And that's Robinson, Ogle, and Pischke. A great result there, with Robinson enjoying the top spot in that number 23 Ford Mustang. Robinson burning it down. He paid for all the tires. He's going to use all the tires. As we wait for Pischke and Ogle to make their way up to the interview room. So we're waiting on Robinson, Ogle, Pischke to make their way up to the booth. I think they're busy getting high fives from the other racers for a great race all the way around. 140 laps, only 1 caution for us. So again, we're waiting for Pischke. We're waiting for Ogle. And we're waiting for Josh Robinson to make their way up to the booth. So we're going to get things started with Mr. Pischke. Let's see if we can grab him here. Up first, Mr. Pischke. Whoop. There we go. I think I got all your know. We got Mr. Pischke back up here in the booth, a solid top 3, and Dakota quite a run there in the last 10 or 15 laps. Seemed like that number 4 was just ripping around the course.
Yeah, man. Just trying to save my stuff a little bit, and those top 2 guys, they're really, really fast, and just trying to save my stuff and see what I could do.
Well, it seemed like it worked out well for you. At what point in the race do you have to kind of make that decision? Let's stop saving and start pushing here in the final laps.
The first and second stint, I kind of ran the same, maybe a little slower. The third stint, I picked it up a little bit more, but I kind of ran my same race all race long, just trying to save.
Well, it looked like it worked very well for you. A great run, the number 4, up 14 positions and a solid third here tonight. Dakota, before I let you go and unwind from this one, who do you want to give a shout to that helped you put you up in the top 3 here tonight at Kansas?
Well, I'd like to thank Last Ditch Racing, my teammates, they're pretty awesome bunch of guys there. And of course the admins, all the work they put in, and the sponsors, and, family near and far let me do this. So, and you, James. Great job.
Couldn't do it without you guys. Dakota, super cool to have you back up in the booth. Been away too long, my friend, and we wish you the best of the luck in the rest of the Chase playoff rounds.
Hey, thanks, James. Appreciate it.
Thank you, sir. That was Dakota Pischke bringing it home in third place. Up next, we've got Mr. Tom Ogle, always raising the bar here, Tom, and it looked like a great run for you and the team.
Yeah, clean air was so important that once Josh passed me, I knew I would have to burn up my stuff to even get a shot back at him. He got off the pit road before I did, and then I hit the wall on that first run. That's kind of why I short pitted him. I was really happy with the way it was going there, but then that caution kind of put us on equal footing.
Now, with the dirty air, do you think that was an attributing factor to keeping Pischke behind you in those final 10 laps?
100%, because he ran me down from far back. But once he got there, I knew if I stayed on the bottom, he probably couldn't pass me. You just can't pass there on the bottom with no downforce.
Well, it seemed like it worked out well for you tonight. And Tom, it looked like it was going to be a green flag race start to finish. That one little incident kind of marring a perfect night. But all in all, 140 laps, good side-by-side racing. You and everybody else has to be pretty pleased with how that one went.
Yeah, I was I hate when I give it away on pit road or touch the wall and lose one. It sucks to lose them that way. But, a second is good. I was hoping, at the end there, Dakota kind of caught me and lit a fire under me, and we started running some really good laps, but we just kind of ran out of time on Josh.
Well, Tom, it was a lot of fun for us to watch up here in the booth. I know that fans enjoyed it as well. Before I let you go and unwind from this one, what words of wisdom or thanks do you want to impart out to the crowd across the world?
I don't really have many words of wisdom, as you know, but just thanks for all the guys putting the league on and all the clean racing, and also some of our members down there in the parts hit by the hurricane there. I hope you're okay, and thinking of all those guys down there fighting that battle. This really doesn't mean anything compared to those guys digging out.
Well, very well said, and I'll speak on behalf of all of our Southern brethren and say we appreciate it, Tom.
All right, thanks.
Thank you, sir.
Yep, have a good week.
You too, buddy. That was Tom Ogle bringing it home in second. But up next, the man, the myth, the legend, Josh Robinson. Welcome back to the top spot. A dominant performance on that 23 machine. And looks like once you're able to shake off Ogle, you just had enjoyed some clean air and smooth laps there.
Yeah, the clean air was definitely huge. I definitely would not feel. I don't feel that it was a dominant win by any means. I don't think I ever had more than like a 1.2, 1.3 second lead, and that was just at the very end there. And I felt that Tom was maybe saving a little bit of equipment to give one more go at it, because it was really, really, really tough to make a pass. Then Dakota just popped up on our screens, kind of snuck up into the top 5 and then worked his way into third, and Tom and I were both on our radio thinking this might be academic if he's got some tires left.
Now, Josh, with that pit stop kind of interrupting the flow of tonight, and everybody knowing they can make it on fuel, but tires are going to be the big question. At what point in that run do you as a racer decide, I don't think we're going to get a caution, maybe I can ease up a little bit and start using a little bit more rubber in the final stint?
That started lap 1 of the restart. We we just kind of went. I knew Tom was going to take some shots, and he almost cleared me a couple of times. And I knew Wayne was there and Lloyd was there. There was no rest. You had to go, and my right front was screaming those last 5 laps to get taken out.
Well, it looked like a ton of fun from up here in our perspective. We didn't have to deal with the dirty air in the broadcast booth, thankfully, but you guys put on a fantastic show as always. And tonight, my friend, you've got the privilege, the pleasure, the final send-offs of the evening. Who do you want to give a shout to that helps you bring home the top spot?
Good to have you back in the booth, James. It's always good to go back and watch these. You do a great job. I want to thank everyone over at Team Miata. We had Tom and Brian tonight, and always good to bounce ideas off of each other. Shout out to all of the admins. They put a pretty good amount of work into just into the background, and I think everyone in the league's pretty appreciative of that. And then just really good, clean racing, which is exactly what we expect here at the OBRL from everyone. Like they're easily 10 guys that could have won this race. I just happened to luck into it.
Well, very well spoken, Josh. Congratulations as always, and hopefully we'll see you up here next week in the next round.
Thank you, James, and hopefully everyone dealing with the hurricane down south is doing all right.
Well, thanks, sir. We appreciate it, man.
Take care.
You too, sir. That was Josh Robinson bringing it home in the top spot this round of the Chase playoffs. He was accompanied by his teammate Tom Ogle and Mr. Dakota Pischke with a fantastic run, locking up the top 3. On behalf of the YesterYear Racing Cup Series here at the Old Bastards Racing League, my name has been James East with Team Goon Squad Broadcasting. Thank you all so much for spending your Sunday night with us, and I'll see you at the next one. Have a great night, everybody.